Hey guys, we're going to talk a little bit more about rounding today. I know that you all watched your Brain Pop video on rounding yesterday and you got to play a game with rounding. But today we're going to put some notes in our journal before we get to our rounding activity. Like place value, rounding is not new for you. You have studied rounding in 3rd grade and maybe even a little bit in 2nd grade. But I wanted us to do a few together just so that you can refresh your memory. So, let's say that we have the number 38,762. If we want to round this to the hundreds, and if you guys want to pause the video and take some notes with me so that you have some examples in your journal, that would be great. So we want to round to the hundreds. The first thing you need to do is find the place that it's asking you to round to. So I can look back in my journal for place value and find a place value chart, or if you're an in-person kid, you should have a place value caterpillar in your journal. So we're going to look for the hundreds. I've got my ones, tens, hundreds. Whatever place it's asking you to round to, I want you to underline that place. Okay? So in this situation, it's a 7. Then you're going to look next door. Okay? So I've underlined the place I'm rounding to, and I'm looking next door to the digit that's on the right. And then you guys may remember this little saying from last year. I'm going to write it down. 5 or more, let it soar. Soar means like go up. 4 or less, let it rest. Okay, so I've underlined my 7. I'm looking next door to my 6. That's where this little saying is gonna come in handy. If the number you're looking at is 5 or more, you're gonna let it soar. So I'm gonna have to ask myself, is this a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9? If it's 5 or more, we're gonna let it soar. And it's 6, which we know is more than 5. So then that means this number I underlined is gonna soar or go up. So that means that 7, if 7 goes up, it becomes an 8. All of the digits that were after my underline, so in this case the 10s and the 1s, those are gonna become zeros. All of the digits that were before the underline stay the same. So my 3 stays the same and my 8 stays the same. So 38,762, when we round it to the hundreds place, becomes 38,800. Okay, let's try another one. Switch colors. Let's say with the same number, 38,762. That marker's no good. But instead of rounding to the hundreds, this time let's round to the thousands. Round to the thousands. So the first thing I'm going to do is find my thousands place. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. I'm going to underline the place that I'm rounding to. Draw my arrow next door because that's the number I'm looking at. Then I'm going to ask myself, 5 or more, let it soar. 4 or less, let it rest, which means it would stay the same. 7. Is that more than 5, guys? Yes, it is. So that means my 8 is going to soar. My 8 is going to become a 9. Everything after the underline becomes zeros. Everything before the underline stays the same. So if we were rounding this same number that we started with to the thousands place, it would be 39,000. When we were just rounding it to the hundreds place, it was 38,800. Okay, so you can pause the video right now and put these things in your journal if you haven't got them yet. But this right here, this little saying, is the most important part with rounding. First, find your place, look next door, and ask yourself that saying. All right, hope you guys enjoy rounding, and I will see you later.